Time these two teams met. John Gibbons' team coming off a sweep of the Orioles. Josh Donaldson has 4 home runs, and he hit a monster home run in that series against the Orioles, and he gave it a ride.
Chris Tillman, a little changeup, too much to the plate. That's the kind where you throw it, you put your head down, because you know that one is not coming back. Josh Donaldson is really swinging it and tearing up the left-handers, but that home run wasn't the king.
This is the king. Alex Rodriguez right here at Tropicana Field hit the longest home run so far this season, 477 feet to center field. Hit up on the walkway out in center, and there's the Captain Morgan deck, and he hit it up on that deck. That's a long way here in this ballpark, and Alex Rodriguez is off to a great start this season after missing almost 2 complete seasons.
And what is he, 40 years old?
Yep.
He's swinging the bat. John Gibbons likes the way his team is starting to swing the bat.
Well, the Blue Jays, we mentioned a 3-game sweep of the Baltimore Orioles. Jose Reyes, Devin Travis, and then Josh Donaldson. And Donaldson has hit the Rays starter Drew Smyly very well. He's 4 for 6. He's got a home run and 2 doubles against Smyly, and he has really done some damage. And then Danny Valencia down in the 5th spot. He's playing third base tonight, and he's got a career batting average against left-handed pitching, .332. He's really swinging the bat well, and Valencia has gotten off to a good start to his season, and he's anxious to get some ABs against Drew Smyly tonight.
John Gibbons did a good thing in starting him in yesterday's game, knowing that he would be in the lineup tonight against a lefty, and this is Drew Smyly. He's 25 years old, and this is the return of Drew Smyly here tonight. He was shut down in spring training with some shoulder tendonitis. Now, that tendonitis was a result of a finger injury that he had right at the end of his throwing in the wintertime, right before spring training. He came over from the Detroit Tigers in a trade right at the end of the deadline last season. He got 7 starts with the Rays, and he was really on a roll before they shut him down. 3-1 with an ERA of 170. His quote today about today's start, he said, "I'm excited about getting the season going." And so are the Rays.
He's only made 1 start against the Blue Jays. And tonight, take a look at the defense behind Smyly. Brandon Guyer, Desmond Jennings, and Kevin Kiermaier. Good speed in the outfield. On the infield, Gold Glover at third base. That's Evan Longoria. Cabrera and Forsythe up the middle. James Loney plays like a Gold Glover over at first base. And behind the plate, Rene Rivera. He had a walk-off hit for the Rays last night. He teams up with Drew Smyly.
And the Rays are really excited about having this man right back in their lineup. This is James Loney. You talk about Gold Glove type of defense. This is his 2nd start this season, just off the disabled list with an oblique injury, and gets the start tonight along with Drew Smyly.
Loney can really pick it over at first base. He is also a presence behind Evan Longoria in their lineup. They're glad to have him back. Reyes batting right-handed. Here is the first pitch from Smyly. It's in there, and we are underway. Jose Reyes would bat right-handed normally against the lefty. Obviously, he's a switch hitter, but he has been plagued by that cracked rib on his left side. How do you think Reyes looks swinging the bat?
He looks fine by me. You know, he's a little bit more stronger, I guess you could say, from the right side. Can drive the ball out of the ballpark. Left side, he's more of a slasher and a runner. From the right side, he's got a little bit more pop. But physically, Jose looks fine. You talk to him, he says he's fine. He just wants to play baseball.
The last 4 games, he's faced all right-handed pitchers, batting as a right-handed hitter. And because of that, he's gone 1 for 13. That's an 0.77 average. Tonight, he gets a lefty in Drew Smyly. Last time the Blue Jays faced Smyly was last year. That mentioned he had a 2-hit complete game shutout. Reyes hits it into center. Desmond Jennings has plenty of room out there in center field. He makes the grab. 1 down. That'll bring the second baseman up, Devin Travis. And boy, what a great start to his season he has had. And when you look at the leaderboard among rookies, Travis is top of the board across the board.
He's starting to get recognition from all around baseball. Everybody taking notice of the numbers that he is putting up. The opposition certainly knows all about him. 385 average. That is built on driving the ball to all parts of the ballpark. I guess, Buck, that's the thing that you and I are most impressed with Devin, is his ability to hit the ball where it's pitched.
He has been going foul line to foul line. He kept his hit streak alive last night in the 8th inning with a double. He had made it to third but lost contact with the bag and was tagged out. But he was credited with a double that extended his hit streak to 9 games.
You know what's going to start happening now? There's some film on him now, and there's some history, and people are going to start putting together a scouting report on him. They might start pitching him a little bit different. Instead of fastballs inside, they might start throwing breaking balls inside, try to get over his bat.
That fastball is popped in the air into center. Jennings again, 2 fly ball outs to start the game for Smiley.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Drew Smiley. He likes to use that fastball. Notice the miles per hour. It's just at 90. Well, he can pitch at 90 when he's hitting his spots. He likes that high fastball. And for me, he's one of those guys, the ball just disappears. He can throw it 90 miles an hour down the middle, and for some reason, hitters just don't pick it up. Curveball, slider, and changeup, very important pitches for him also. He's got all 4.
First pitch to Donaldson is over for a strike. Good numbers through 16 games. 349 average, 4 homers for Donaldson. Last year, got off to a slow start playing with the Oakland A's. He hit 247 through 16 games. So this year, he's 100 points better in his first season with the Blue Jays.
Well, you know what he's doing. He's hitting the ball back through the middle. He's getting his pitch, and he is not missing it. And when he gets ahead in the count, watch out.
He's got the count in his favor now. It's 2-1. Changeup, and he committed. Now it's even at 2-2. Drew Smiley, 25 years old. He pitched at the University of Arkansas and then was picked second round by the Tigers in 2010. High fastball, 92 miles an hour. Smiley is back. Good first inning of the season for the lefty. 3 up, 3 down. R.A. Dickey will go to the mound here at Tropicana Field and be throwing to his old battery mate, Josh Tolley.
All right.
Sox had a walk-off win in last night's game. Cash, a former Blue Jay, now manager in his first season. Let's take a look at the Rays lineup. David DeJesus, top of the order. Asdrubal Cabrera, he's at shortstop. He's got good numbers against R.A. Dickey, 4 for 11 with a couple of home runs. And then right behind Cabrera is Evan Longoria. He has 8 hits against Dickey. Overall, a 242 average, but he's done some damage. 2 home runs, 3 doubles for the third baseman. So 3 and 4 in this lineup have given Dickey some problems in the past.
So he's going to have to take note of that. R.A. Dickey is searching for his first win in 4 tries. Hasn't pitched poorly this season. That ERA is pretty good at 3.26. Just some command issues that he has to work through. And when he does, he will be fine. Those command issues. He's had at least 3 walks in all 3 of his starts this season.
Last time he faced the Rays, he walked 3 in a row and had 2 bases loaded walks. That were the only runs the Rays scored in a 2-1 win over Dickey and the Blue Jays. His knuckleball has been pretty good.
Yes, it has. It dances. He's been trying to take a little something off of it at times to give the batters a little something to look at. In this ballpark, for some reason, that ball really dances here.
I think the environment is consistent, much like that of Rogers Center. Obviously, with the dome, you don't have to deal with any wind issues, and humidity is pretty consistent. I think ideally, if Dickey could pitch indoors all the time, he'd probably enjoy it. 1-2. One really took off. There's been a lot of talk about Josh Thole saying, you know what, Thole didn't catch Dickey all spring. Russell Martin was catching him a lot. This guy could catch him with his eyes closed.
Yeah, and there's no concern at all. You see, he's got that big catcher's glove to handle it. I asked him today about that. He said, hey, I'm just going to do what I've been doing for a long time with RA. Just sit back there and just track it.
Of course, they were together with the Mets when R.A. had that Cy Young season. He went 20-6 that year, won the National League Cy Young Award. That's a little looper. Dalton Pompey has a beat on, makes the catch. De Jesus is retired. A little different look in the outfield with the left-hander Drew Smyly on the mound tonight. Steve Tollefson makes his second start in left field. Dalton Pompey's in center. Kevin Pillar continues to fill in for Jose Bautista. Danny Valencia gets a start at third base. He's got a potent right-handed bat. It's Reyes and Travis up the middle, and Encarnacion at first, making his 7th start, and Josh Thole and R.A. Dickey.
And Josh Thole, he's very familiar with R.A. Dickey's knuckleball. He has caught him now in 55 of his last 58 starts. So you were talking about, oh, there might be some concern. No concern at all.
No concerns at all. There's a drive down the left side. That's a fair ball. Collison will play it off the wall, hustles it back in quickly, but Geyer is going to reach second with a stand-up double. Brandon Geyer's 4th double of the season has put a Ray base runner in scoring position early.
And if you remember back in the 4-game series in Toronto, watch where this knuckleball comes over the middle of the plate. These extra base hits by the Tampa Bay Rays, that 4-game series, they were not staying around at second base very long either when R.A. was on the mound.
Had 7 steals in the series. Desmond Jennings stole third base twice against Dickey, and they're going to have to keep their eye on Brandon Geyer. This is Asdrubal Cabrera. We mentioned he has 2 career home runs against Dickey. Totally flagged that one down, and late movement up and away.
It's so important when you've got that runner at second base, for them to try to get him to third base with the knuckleball pitcher on the mound. Puts a little bit more pressure on the defense, puts a little bit more pressure on the catcher. You turn around and go get one of those pitches that go back to the screen, it's going to cost you a run. So the Blue Jays are going to try and keep those runners. They're going to keep them a little bit tighter. Dickey's going to look at that runner a couple of different times and show different moves towards the plate.
That time he moved quickly and throws a strike. Came very close to a set position, but unloaded in a hurry and got the ball in there. It's 2-1 now. Asdrubal Cabrera is 0 for 17 against the Blue Jays this year. He had a terrible series at the plate in Toronto. Up and in. Evan Longoria is on deck. Cabrera with 2 career home runs against Dickey. Same for Longoria.
It's a scrappy bunch, the Tampa Bay Rays. They don't have a whole lot of power, but they will scratch and claw and just manufacture runs.
It's ball 4, down and in. So after the fly out to center, the Rays have doubled and walked.
And that's what they do right there. They will take their share of walks. The Tampa Bay Rays, now the walks for R.A. Dickey has been a problem for him. In that Cy Young season, he had 2 walks he averaged per 9 innings. He has doubled that this season so far. It has been a problem for him, just controlling that knuckleball and keeping it in the strike zone.
Evan Longoria takes a first pitch strike. Longoria just 4 for his last 20 on this 6-game homestand. He got hit by a pitch in the final game of the Blue Jays series. Got hit right in the hip by Marco Estrada. And he really hadn't been swinging the bat well. He doesn't have an RBI or a home run since he has returned home as a team. Tampa Bay just 6 for the last 31 with runners in scoring position. This is popped up. Toley didn't see it. Encarnacion has a beat on it now and makes the catch. The infield fly rule was in effect. Longoria's retired. Boy, this is where you really need everybody on the infield to help each other out. Josh Toley never had a clue where that ball was.
It went up. He went to take his mask off and had no idea where it went. Thank goodness there was the infield fly rule. Edwin had that one. But you're right. Communication is key on those type of pop-ups.
So here is James Loney. This will just be his 3rd at bat of the season. Last year with the Rays, Loney hit .290. You could pencil him in for .290 just about every single season. Off the glove, and the runners are going to move up. Late movement, and Toley had to go off his glove. Looked like he was right on it, and right at the last minute, that ball takes off to his left. Watch the movement.
Boy, that is a good one right there. You want to talk about a floating pitch? Watch this thing. It's there. It looks like it's coming in, and then it goes the other way. John Gibbons was talking about that before the game, that for some reason in this ballpark, the ball really dances for R.A. Dickey here.
Ground ball. Encarnacion will go to the bag, and Dickey will get out of the inning. The Rays leave a pair. We've played one here in St. Petersburg. It's a scoreless ball game. We are in Tampa Bay.
'15 Sport Utility of the Year.
Welcome back to St. Petersburg. The Blue Jays opening up a 3-game series against the Rays here at Tropicana Field. We move to the 2nd inning. Drew Smyly set to face Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin just 194 average. He's off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's hit with power. Got 4 homers, and he's driven in 8. Nobody ever wants to see just pure batting average from Edwin Encarnacion, but he's producing. Got a double and 4 homers.
There are the numbers over the last 13 games. I thought in yesterday's game he got a little bit too pull happy, and I was watching him in batting practice today as he pulls that ball foul. Saw him in batting practice today really starting to use the middle of the field. I think he was trying to slow his swing down just a little bit and try to generate a little bit more balls to right center field.
Lost the grip on that bat hand a little bit. You see he's adjusting his gloves and getting that stick him around the bat handle, making sure that he has a good grip on that bat. He swings it so hard.
Yeah.
There's so much torque on that bat.
We haven't seen a good Edwin bat heave yet this year.
Smiley wanted that. He dropped that breaking ball just off the outside corner. Encarnacion is 3 for 10 against lefties. Blue Jays haven't seen many lefty starters. This is just the third.
Just the third, and how about this? This is the first lefty starter for the Rays this season to start a game because of all the injuries.
Well, Drew Smiley was traded for David Price, and he was a fixture here. Matt Moore is a starter that has had Tommy John, and he's working his way back. Cash hopeful of having Moore by July. Encarnacion strikes out. That's the first out of the second inning. We mentioned the trade deadline deal last year. Smiley came over to the Tampa Bay Rays and really got on a roll in August.
Yeah, and they were very happy with the results after the trade for David Price, one of the best players that they have ever had. He's first in all these categories except earned run average at 129. These are major league starters. Now, they had to shut him down last year after he hit an innings limit through 153 innings last season when they shut him down. That was 77 more innings than he had in 2013, and it was the right thing to do. A young pitcher like this, you don't want to overdo it early in his career.
This is Danny Valencia fouled it off his left foot.
You know, you're always trying to do something like that to guard against injuries, and wouldn't you know it, he would injured his finger right before spring training, and that led to the tendonitis in the shoulder. So he is just now getting his season started.
Well, what happened too was Smiley recognized that injury on his own. He was in a throwing program at home before he reported to spring training. He reported it to the training staff here at Tampa Bay, and that was a red flag. They shut him down immediately. Obviously, a finger injury can lead to more significant problems.
Yeah, like 6 weeks on the disabled list. But it was 2 weeks, and then he started throwing, and then I guess in his haste to get ready a little bit quicker, lost the spring training. 2 weeks and overdid it just a little bit too quickly, had the tendonitis.
3 strikeouts in a row for Drew Smiley. He looks pretty good in his first start. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, you know the Yankees want to rain on the Mets parade. They are playing that in the Yankees Stadium. Michael Pineda is on the mound for New York, and the Mets, they have captured all the headlines in New York to this point.
That's what it's all about, those headlines on the back pages of the tabloids there in New York.
Lucas Duda's off to a great start. First baseman hitting .345. They're doing this all without David Wright. He's on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. Kevin Pillar is behind 0-2 very quickly. Pillar's had a good start against Tampa Bay this season. He is 5 for 12. That's a .333 average with a couple of doubles. Brandon Geyer on the warning track. Pillar takes him to the left field wall. 3 up, 3 down. Drew Smiley, 6 straight retired. We are in Tampa Bay. The Rays are swimming around. It'll be Jennings, Forsythe, and Kerbauer when we come back.
Yankees visit the Blue Jays at Rogers Center on Tuesday, May 5th at 7:07. It will be Connect with the Jays night, presented by Honda. First 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays and one TO Come Together t-shirt. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. That'll be a great homestand when the Yankees are in town. Yankees in Boston, a 6-game homestand next time the Blue Jays are back at Rogers Center. This is Desmond Jennings. Jennings has had an odd start to his season. He has yet to hit an extra base hit. Jennings has a lot of power. Blue Jays have seen that firsthand. There's a bouncing ball. Valencia handles it easily. One down. Blue Jays were out early during batting practice. All the infielders are taking ground balls on this turf. Of course, they just came from Rogers Center playing on the new turf for 10 games, and this turf is a lot quicker.
Yeah, to a man, they talked about it being matted and faster. It's obviously different on the skin of the infield with the dirt as opposed to Rogers Center, but overall, it's faster. So the outfielders are going to have to be on their toes. They're going to have to cut those balls off in the gap.
It was quite a change for the Blue Jay players and certainly for the visiting players. The new surface at Rogers Center was just a lot slower. These two surfaces here at Tropicana Field and Rogers Center are the same. But Rogers Center is a little bit longer, and being new, it has yet to get tamped down. And it's still pretty soft.
You know, another difference here, this is permanent. This doesn't come up and down. They leave the surface here down. It doesn't get rolled back up and matted down.
This is Logan Forsythe. Forsythe is the second baseman tonight. He's a good utility player. He plays all over the place. He's kind of a regular that just happens to play different positions every night. That's something Tampa Bay has always done.
Yeah, starting with Ben Zobrist, a regular who can fill in any spots in the batting order and out in the field. He can swing it a little bit also. Tonight, playing second base.
There's a drive to left field. Tolleson shuffles back, makes the catch. 2 down.
The DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
2 outs. Kevin Kiermaier, the right fielder, batting 8th tonight. He's always a threat to bunt. He can fly. Nicky gets ahead of him with that first pitch knuckler.
We were just talking about the surface here being a little bit quicker. The outfielder is going to have to be quick if he hits one out there. He has already turned 4 singles into doubles this season with hustle. There's the defense for the Blue Jays. A little bit deeper on the right side of the infield.
Ground ball past Dickey. Travis is going to have to hurry. He does. And Dickey retires the side in order. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 2 innings here in St. Petersburg. It's still a scoreless ball game. updating all the hockey scores during the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we'll take care of the baseball on this end. And Jamie, too, is going to give us some information about baseball around both leagues. This is Steve Tollefson. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Tollefson, a .297 hitter against lefty pitching for his career. Had a good cut. Jose Bautista on the bench, and way down at the other end, Marcus Stroman. That beautiful smile, and he is happy to be back in uniform and be with his teammates. He had that awful injury in spring training as he tore his ACL. He's here rehabbing, and in speaking with him prior to the game, he said he's getting his range of motion back. He's lost a lot of his muscle tone in his quad above that left knee, but you can see the smile on his face. He's happy. He knows where he's supposed to be, is right here with this ball team.
He's at home, and there's nothing worse for a player than to go on the disabled list. You're in limbo. You're not part of anything, really. It is a bad, bad feeling. It's nice now that Tampa Bay is in the league now, the American League, and when the players come down to Florida like this, they do the rehab, they can run into their teams here. We see this all the time from the Blue Jays, players that are on the disabled list who are working out, coming over and being with their mates.
Marcus will leave this area on Tuesday and go to Duke. He's going to start classes early in May. He's got 2 semesters to finish his degree, and he says, while I'm out, I'm going to get my degree, so good for him. He can rehab back at Duke where he played baseball and get his degree at the same time. There's strike 3 call. That changeup caught the outside corner. 4 strikeouts now for Drew Smyly.
Do you know what makes Drew Smyly so tough as you watch him operate here tonight? He's got 4 pitches. He throws them all for strikes. He can throw them at any time in the count. This time that changeup, you can see Steve Tollefson was out front just a little bit, but it caught the plate for the strikeout. But he's all over the quadrant of the strike zone. He'll throw up and down, in, out, backwards, forwards, just a little bit of everything.
This is Dalton Pompey heading in the 8th spot. Pompey, a switch hitter, heading right-handed. Dalton started to bounce back a little bit at the end of that homestand. Started swinging the bat very well. Takes a cut at that high fastball. Over his last 3 games, Pompey has gone 5 for 11. It's a 455 average, and he's hit 3 doubles. He's hitting the ball hard.
I think that's what you're going to see from young kids.
This is popped up over near the Rays dugout. The catcher Rivera is there. Makes a nice basket catch. Rene Rivera has tightened up the defense for the Rays behind the plate.
He's a good one. They had their eye on him when they made the big trade, the big 3-team trade. The eye on him to improve the defense behind the plate, and they've gotten that with Rivera. Forget about the bat. He's not swinging the bat, although he got the big hit yesterday, but his defense is a welcome addition to this team.
2 outs now for Josh Tolley, getting his first start of the season. Tolley came up from Buffalo for last night's game. Yonder Navarro was placed on a disabled list. That's unfortunate as Navarro was off to a good start.
Boy, the quality of these pitches from Drew Smyly. Watch it in our pitch tracker strike zone quad where these pitches are to every one of these batters. They're on the edges. They're up high for a reason, then down low, changing the eye level of those batters. And then changing speeds also, which he does very effectively.
Another strikeout. What a good start for Drew Smyly. First time through the order. 9 up, 9 down, 5 strikeouts. Dickey's in tough tonight.
All Bay players have their way of preparing before games. For Evan Longoria, it's a matter of locking himself in a room beside the clubhouse and bashing away on a set of drums. He says he's completely self-taught, never had a lesson, and has never played in a band. He doesn't think he'll ever play in a band because he doesn't think he's good enough. But for those of us who have actually heard him from outside the room, Buck, he's not that bad of a drummer. It's a great way to get out some of that aggression.
Well, you can see the bobblehead doll, Longo, with his drums and the headband, and you can hear him playing drums. The Blue Jays are hitting, and we always leave the field about 3/4 of the way through Blue Jays batting practice. Longo's in there playing the drums just next to the elevator where we go upstairs.
He could play in Barry's band. You know Barry played in a band?
No.
Yeah.
He could play in Barry's band.
Uh-huh. Go recruit him.
One ball, 2 strikes to the Rays catcher, Rene Rivera. He's batting 9th in this batting order. He had the game winner in last night's game, got a base hit, and drove home the pinch runner Tim Beckham from second base to beat the Red Sox 2-1.
Says he was pressing just a little bit. New team, new league, wants to do something special. Hasn't come around for him yet offensively.
Well, let me tell you something. As a catcher going to a new team, Rivera, just like Russell Martin, puts all of his work in spring training focused on learning the pitchers. You got to learn the pitchers, get used to what they throw, how they like to work. You don't really dedicate all that time to your own hitting. And first-year catchers, yeah, they'll suffer a bit. This is popped up and playable. Reyes backing out into shallow center field. He stays with it. 1 down.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Two outs here, bottom of the 3rd inning. It's a scoreless game. R.A. Dickey and Drew Smiley putting up zeros early in this ball game. David DeJesus, the leadoff man, he flew out to center field his first time up. Blue Jays coming off a sweep of the Orioles. They won 13-6, 4-2, and held on last night to win 7-6. Great feeling for John Gibbons after such a terrible start to the homestand at the hands of these Tampa Bay Rays. Blue Jays lost 3 of 4 to open up the series, and it was a very tight series. Dickey got beat 2-1.
Yeah, look at the pitching they ran into when they came home off of that road trip. Odorizzi and Archer, Wood, Shelby Miller.
Ground ball up the middle. That'll sneak past Travis into center. A 2-out base hit for DeJesus. It's the second hit off of Dickey. Comes with, as I said, 2 outs, just 1 out. This Tampa Bay team can really pitch. There is Chris Archer in the middle of your screen, and he did a terrific job. Odorizzi is to his left, and they've got some good young arms, and that's going to keep them around.
It's going to keep them in ball games. That series we were talking about coming back to Rogers Center, the Blue Jays were riding pretty high, and then this team really shut them down. Blue Jays in the 3 losses only scored 5 runs against Tampa Bay, and Gibby was talking about it before the game, saying they just outplayed us. They took it to us and shut us down. And he said they've been doing it for a long time, and they've been known to do that. Nothing's changed this year with Tampa Bay in pitching.
No, they can pitch, and last year was the exception for the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay had owned the season series up until last year, and the Jays finally won the season series matchup 11-8. That is Matt Moore on the Rays bench. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's talking with John Jaso, another Ray that's on the TL.
They got a few of those guys. 1 year and a day after his Tommy John elbow surgery, Matt Moore said things are going very well. Starting to face hitters in the next 2 weeks.
1-1 to Brandon Guyer. He doubled his first time up. Alex Cobb, the other starter that's on the DL, he threw a bullpen session here today, and by all accounts it went well. Jim Hickey told us he's still a month away from pitching in the big leagues.
A month away. That's about the timetable also for Matt Moore. Late June, early July for Moore.
On the ground, Valencia charges, throws on the run in time to retire Guyer. DeJesus goes to second base. DeJesus slides into second base. He and Devin Travis were chatting it up there at second base. And in the series at Rogers Center, DeJesus slid in hard to Devin Travis to break up a double play. And Travis got hit on the shin, and it looked like DeJesus said, "Hey man, you okay? No hard feelings, just hard baseball."
Yeah, hard base right into his shin. And we talked to Devin the next day, and he said, I don't know how I was able to make it through that game. He said it was really sore the next day.
Ground ball, Encarnacion smothers it, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. Asdrubal Cabrera now 0 for 18 against the Blue Jays. When we come back, it'll be the top of the order. Reyes, Travis, and then Josh Donaldson. He wears out lefty pitching. The Blue Jays looking for their first hit against the left-hander Drew Smyly.
Sergio Aguero and company take on Christian Benteke and Aston Villa. That's tomorrow on Sportsnet, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. Certainly get the best of the soccer action here on Sportsnet. We got quite a ball game going on. Only 2 hits in the game. Rays have both of those. Reyes trying to reach base. Blue Jays haven't had a base runner yet against Drew Smyly. Breaking ball is in there. Boy, he looks good first start of the season.
He looks real good. He had 68 pitches in his last rehab start, and that got him through 3 2/3 innings. Jim Hickey was saying he'll do cartwheels if he can get 5 innings and 80 pitches out of Drew Smyly tonight. And it looks like he's going to do it. Just 47 pitches now as he pitches in the 4th inning.
They're going to be thrilled no matter what happens from this point forward, just to see him command all of his pitches and throw them very effectively. Kevin Cash, along with his bench coach Tom Foley, looking on. Smiley's ahead 0-2. Reyes hits it on the ground. Forsythe gobbles it up. Coloni, 1 down. This Rays organization has done a terrific job of developing pitchers. Of course, they were down in the standings so long, they had a lot of first-round picks, but they didn't miss on first-round picks. Alex Cobb and Matt Moore. Matt Moore wasn't a first-round pick, but he's a young pitcher that they identified they wanted to take him in the later rounds. David Price, first overall pick.
Yeah. Everybody knows about all the high picks, and you're right. They hit on those, but they also hit on some of those other guys that you just mentioned. Some of the 8th round picks like an Alex Cobb, or a 5th round pick like a Matt Moore. But they develop them, and they spend a lot of times in the minor leagues. They spend 5 years getting those young kids and then sharpening, so when they come to the big leagues, they're ready.
It was interesting in their philosophy. I talked with Matt Silverman, who's now the GM of the Tampa Bay Rays, in Toronto when they were there at Rogers Center, and he said, we're keeping an eye on the Blue Jays and their young pitchers in the big leagues to see how they do. We have some top prospects, but we have them in A-ball. But if they can succeed, meaning the Blue Jays young pitchers, Osuna and Castro and Norris and Sanchez. There's a deep drive to left field. This has got the distance. If it's fair, it is fair and gone. Devin Travis, back in his home state of Florida, hits his 5th home run. What a start for young Devin Travis. That extends his hit streak to 10 straight. That's the first hit for the Blue Jays tonight, and it gives them a 1-0 lead.
And it's a big one. Last time up, looked like Drew Smyly tried to go inside with a fastball, and Travis skied out to center field. This time, remember I was talking his first time up about maybe the pitchers will start trying to do something different to him? Well, he tried to go back in there with that fastball, and he was ready for it. Turned on it.
Young man can hit. Rookie home runs. Now he stands alone. He has 5 home runs. Steven Souza Jr. of the Rays was tied with Travis at 4.
Watch his hands. Look at him go straight through that baseball. That's how you keep the ball fair down the left field line if you're a right-handed batter. Bring your hands through, and the baseball bat barrel will follow.
We mentioned Travis is leading most of the rookie categories offensively. Batting average, home runs, runs batted in, multi-hit games, runs scored. Josh Donaldson rips one past Longoria into left. Donaldson, a terrific right-handed bat that has really added some punch to this Blue Jays lineup.
Devin Travis says, I don't know where this power is coming from, but just he's speechless right now. Well, it's coming from a good swing. Look at the finish and the follow through. That is a classic home run type of swing. Now, he's not a home run hitter, and he'll be the first to admit it, but you put good approaches on the plate at the bat like that, and good things are going to happen.
Encarnacion fouls off the first pitch.
You know what I didn't realize when we watched him in spring training is how strong he is. When that bat meets the ball, how far it's going.
He might not be a home run hitter, but he leads the Blue Jays in home runs. He's got 5. There's a fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone. 0-2. It didn't take long for Devin to move into that 2 spot in the lineup, and I think he's perfectly suited to hit there.
He might not move out of it.
Boy, when you think of what he has done in this month of April in his rookie season, it's unprecedented as far as slugging average. Came into this game with a .712 slugging percentage in the month of April. Historically, among Major League second basemen, that's the best for a rookie second baseman. The late Jerry Coleman was a second baseman for the Yankees in 1949. He had a .575 slugging percentage. That was the best until Travis has put up big numbers this month.
That's amazing. It's amazing what he has done, and he has handled it without changing. He's the same guy, happy-go-lucky. He's a good kid. They knocked him around a little bit. He got hit by a pitch. He got taken out a couple of times out at second base, and he's been the same guy every single day when you arrive at the ballpark.
Encarnacion crosses up the shift, gets a base hit to center. Donaldson will make the turn and head to third. Encarnacion with a 2-strike approach gets a base hit. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Third baseman, Danny Valencia.
Yankees putting it on the Mets in the opener of their Subway Series. Encarnacion with a base hit after striking out. Donaldson goes first to third. 3 straight hits, home run, single.
That brings Jim Hickey out to slow things down just a little bit for Drew Smyly, who was rolling. You know, I told you I was watching Edwin Encarnacion in batting practice, and he was shooting the ball to right field, trying to stay inside the ball just a little bit more. Go back through the middle, and that was a classic example of it right there, his approach at the plate on that base hit.
Especially with 2 strikes, you want to stay on that ball and drive it the other way, and he shortened up. I think Edwin just pressing a little bit, trying to hit the ball a little bit too hard. He doesn't have to swing hard. He's a big man with lots of power.
He usually has a pretty decent average off the off-speed pitch, but that time was a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes on a breaking ball.
Danny Valencia struck out his first time up. He chases one. Well, the Blue Jays are on the board, benefit of another home run. Devin Travis with the solo home run here in the 4th. The Blue Jays are 8-1 when they hit at least 1 home run. Valencia gets a base hit into center field. Donaldson's going to come in to score, and Encarnacion will stop at second base. Danny Valencia, an RBI single.
Right fielder,
Boy, Valencia's swinging the bat well.
Yeah, he certainly is. Second time through now, and the Blue Jays are starting to cover those outside pitches. That cutter, you see how Valencia cuts his swing down. Finish it off with a base hit.
Danny's now 6 for his last 9. Bring them all on. Lefty, righty, doesn't make any difference for him right now.
Well, again, we talked about it yesterday. And it was John Gibbons' plan to play him yesterday to get him ready for this start here tonight. Brilliant move.
Kevin Pillar flied out to left field his first time up. Jose Dominguez starting to loosen up. Smiley has thrown 66 pitches. They weren't going to go much past 80, and the Blue Jays are getting to him here in the 4th. Pillar pops it in the air to left. Geyer coming in near the line, makes the catch. 2 down.
left fielder, Steve Thomason.
Steve Thomason caught looking at strike 3 in the 3rd. Smiley has 5 strikeouts. He was perfect through the first 3 innings. In fact, retired 10 straight before Travis hit the home run.
5 of them on strikeouts.
Ground ball to the right side. Loney ranges to his right. Smiley gets there in time to retire Thomason. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays scored 2. Drew Smiley retired 10 straight, and then he had to deal with Devin Travis. He connects with a fastball. His 5th home run, first of 2. Blue Jays lead it 2-0.
2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
With the Blue Jays on the road for the next 10 days, good time to look into getting a Blue Jays ticket package. You pick the games and reserve seats that get you closer to the action. Starting from 10 games up to a full season, the account executives will find the package that best suits your need. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. Evan Longoria got the attention of the crowd as he hooked that first pitch, long but foul down the left side. Longoria popped out to the first baseman his first time up here. He lifts a fly ball. Paulson can't make the play. Pompey's there to back him up as Longoria jogs into second with a leadoff double here in the fourth.
Longoria's got some interesting splits this year. When he is behind in the count, he's actually hitting higher than he is when he's behind in the count. This time he is behind, doubles to left center field. When he's ahead in the count, he's hitting 150. When he's behind in the count, he's over 300. He was behind there, and wouldn't you know it, doubles in the gap in left center.
For Longoria, that's his 6th double of the season. Josh Donaldson doubled in his last at bat. Donaldson singled. Donaldson and Longoria are tied with 6 doubles. They're one behind Robinson Cano for the lead in the American League. James Loney grounded out to first. Hits this one high and deep to right. If it's fair, it's gone. It's back there and gone. Just like that, Loney's presence in the lineup has given the Rays a 2-run home run.
You know, he just makes everybody around him better. He has good at bats. He keeps innings going. He drives in runs. He puts up professional at bats. Blue Jays scored 2 runs, and just like that, 2 swings, and we're tied once again. Watch how Loney takes this knuckleball and keeps it fair down the right field line. He knows he's got the distance down the right field line. Just 322 in the corner. Just a matter of if it was going to stay fair. It did, and we're tied again.
That's his first home run since last September 9th against the Yankees. Obviously coming back from the disabled list, but he went almost the entire month of September after that home run in the 9th without one. Bouncing ball. Valencia waits on it. He's got a strong arm and throws Desmond Jennings out. So R.A. Dickey given a 2-0 lead. Longoria and Loney, 2 of the best hitters in their lineup, obviously, and a double home run, and it's 2-2.
2 of the most experienced hitters in their lineup, and that's where we were talking about it before the game. Those are the 2 guys you have to be careful of in this lineup. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, after they take the lead, who are the first 2 guys they face? Their most experienced hitters.
This is Logan Forsythe. He flied out to left field. He's only at bat. Nicky knocks it down. That may have cost him. Travis throws wide of first base, but Tolley's there to back it up. If Dickey doesn't get a glove on, it's going to be a routine ground ball to the second baseman. But Dickey's a good fielder.
He's got quick,
been a Gold Glover before.
Yeah, he's got quick reactions, and the ball was hit to the glove side. And your first reaction is to stick your glove up and try and catch it. He did, and once it glanced off the glove, it's too far of a distance for Travis to make up. Here's the knuckleball. He throws it up there. Just knocks it down right into no man's land.
This is Kevin Kiermaier, the right fielder. Two-two ball game. The Rays have out-hit the Blue Jays 5-4. Ball on the strike. Kiermaier has been scuffling a bit of late. dropped him down in the order. They would love to see some consistency so they can put him top of the order and utilize that great speed. There goes the runner. Ball is popped in the air. Travis, the second baseman, out into the outfield and makes the catch. Kiermaier's retired.
Well, they'll do anything, the Rays, to try and stir that up on the offensive end right there. They start the runner, go play hit and run. Kiermaier cannot get the ball on the ground. So Dickey is now 1 out away of getting out of this fourth inning.
This is the catcher, Rene Rivera. Drives this one to center. Pompey back quickly at the wall. It's gone. Rene Rivera. It's his first home run of the season to straightaway center field. Second two-run homer of the inning. In watching Pompey, you knew it was hit hard. He broke immediately to get back to the wall, but as he turned around to play it off the wall, it was over.
Just scraped the line on the way out of here. Again, Rivera been looking for anything offensively to help out his ball club. Got the game winner in the win yesterday, and now watch him put a charge into this knuckleball over the middle of the plate. It's the dead center field, and Bolton went back thinking he had a shot, but it was just hit too hard and got out of here quickly. And that two-run lead has now turned into a two-run deficit for the Blue Jays.
Just like that, you don't expect that kind of offense from the Rays. Two-run homers in the inning. Turns the lineup over once again. David DeJesus. DeJesus is the DH. Ground ball. Second baseman Devin Travis has it. But Tampa Bay scores 4 runs on 4 hits and has taken a 4-2 lead. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. Longoria, home run to Loney, and then another 2-run home run to the catcher Rene Rivera. And after 4 here in St. Petersburg, Drew Smyly is back out. I'm surprised by this.
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
Smyly has thrown 66 pitches. They were hopeful of getting 80 pitches out of him, but he has thrown so well, and now he has a chance to pick up a win if he can complete 5 innings. I think that must have been the thinking behind it.
You think that's the reason?
I think so. The guy's worked hard to come back and got off to a great start. Retired the first 10 batters he faced tonight. And now if he can get through the 5th, he would qualify for a win.
Well, he's got 8-9-1. That was pitch number 70 right there. So if he can get an 11-pitch inning, Kevin Cash is going to give his starter a chance to win the ball game.
Pompey taps it foul. Smiley finished up strong last year, and they shut him down on a hot streak basically just to protect his arm. He had reached his innings limit.
And they hated to do it. I mean, he was on a roll last year when they had to shut him down.
His last 6 games, including this one tonight, he was 3-0 with a 128 earned run average, and his whip was 0.64, including this game tonight.
Do you know what it proves?
Jam.
Do you know what it proves? You don't have to throw 95 or 96 to get guys out.
Tell you what he did last year. Remember, he was traded on July 31st, middle of the season. With Detroit, he made 18 starts, 7 more with the Rays, and those 7 starts got his innings up to a limit where Tampa Bay wanted to protect this young man. He had 130 innings in the previous season. They didn't want to pile up another big number on him.
Yeah, they threw 153 last season in the major leagues.
There's a little looper into left. Geyer dives and makes a catch. Brandon Geyer didn't get a real good read off of it, but he dives and takes a hit away from Pompey. And they're going to have a look at that on the replay. See if they're going to challenge that call.
One thing that they have out here in Tampa is they've got some fast outfielders. Geyer had some serious closing speed on that one. And it looks like it's going to be an out. Watch Geyer come quickly right off of the turf, and he held on to it as he rolled over a bit.
Once he gets it up, he holds that glove up, and Smiley appreciates the effort by his left fielder. Kevin Kiermaier made a couple of those diving catches in the game yesterday in center field in a 2-1 win over the Red Sox.
Kevin Cash said it was the game changer for him yesterday. They've got some speed in the outfield.
You know, they've been playing this game over 140 years, and nothing has changed as far as pitching and defense. If you pitch and you catch it, you're going to be in ball games. When you look at this Tampa Bay team and try to figure out where they might finish at the end of the season, everybody has discounted them. They won 77 games a year ago. And everybody says, well, you know, they're not going to be in contention. Kevin Cash hasn't bought into that. They're hopeful of getting all their pitchers back soon. Totally bounces it toward first. Loney will step on the bag. 2 down.
The DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Well, this is kind of interesting. He's thrown 79 pitches, and he's got a chance to complete the inning as he has 2 outs, but they're not going to let him throw that 80th pitch. Drew Smiley's first start of the season goes 4 2/3. He leads with the lead, but can't qualify for the win. Tampa Bay has a 4-2 lead. When we come back, Jose Reyes will bat. 3 appearances for the Rays. He was recalled from AAA Durham on April 15th. He took over from Kirby Yates. That was during the Blue Jays series in Toronto. Reyes cues it off the end of the bat. Dominguez throws one pitch, closes out the Blue Jays in their half of the 5th. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Tampa Bay with a 4-2 lead. Good start for Drew Smyly tonight, his first of the season.
It also happens to be Mother's Day. And for the first 20,000 fans that enter, you'll receive a Josh Donaldson white replica jersey. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. It's Mother's Day at the ballpark. And guys, a couple of injury updates. First of all, Michael Saunders is playing once more for the Dunedin Blue Jays. He's well enough to play here, but John Gibbons says with Smyly pitching tonight, it just made more sense to wait one more day before bringing him up. As for Jose Bautista, the hope is he can avoid the DL. The shoulder's feeling much better. We may see him at some point this weekend. Buck?
Barry, that's a big bat. Blue Jays need him back into the lineup, and hopefully that shoulder will allow him at least to DH, and he can swing the bat. Obviously, it is his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder, that has bothered him. And you would think maybe in a day or two he could get back to at least a DH role for this ball club.
Yeah, that's probably how he will enter back into playing time. That means that Edwin Encarnacion will play more first base. We will probably see Michael Saunders at some point. So Gibby's going to have to be creative to keep everybody swinging.
Well, and we've talked about that. You just never really can predict when you're going to need an extra bat lineup or who might cool off. But when you have a lot of options, it benefits the team. Geyer gets hit by that knuckleball. Leadoff man's aboard. Nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, we all know about Jimmy Paredes and his power. Paredes hitting third tonight in that lineup. Manny Machado, after hitting 2 home runs last night, moved up into the 2 spot in the order. And Baltimore leading early, 2-0, as they play in the 4th in Baltimore. Asdrubal Cabrera 0 for 1 tonight. He is 0 for 18 for the season against the Blue Jays. Snap throw to first. Remember, we talked about the Rays had 7 stolen bases against Blue Jays in the 4-game series at Rogers Center.
13 for 19 this season, the Rays. I mean, it's a big part of what they do. They're tied with Detroit for 3rd in the American League with those 13 stolen bases. You see RA holding the ball just a little bit longer that time, just freezing out that runner at first base.
Yeah, he knows he has to change up his release times. He does a great job of that. Here comes Sat, make that runner wait over at first. He's got a good move as well.
He's quick to home plate. He doesn't lift that front leg up very high. He can still generate enough power to get that knuckleball up there. I think if the Rays would do anything, they might try and put a hit and run on here.
Dickey picked off Ellsbury in his first start of the season. That's hooked foul. Asdrubal Cabrera has taken over here as the everyday shortstop for Kevin Cash. He had committed an error in the Blue Jays series, a ground ball off the bat of Josh Donaldson, but we found out today that was changed. Donaldson credited with a hit. And Cabrera has not committed an error.
Yeah, we saw him around the cage and said, so you're back to 0, huh? They took the error away, and he says, oh, did they change it? I said, yeah, so you wipe the slate clean defensively.
Nice grab by Tolle. That ball was down and away. He kind of backhanded it. Was able to catch the ball. Dickey doesn't have a strikeout tonight. He's walked one and hit a batter. Rays have 4 runs on 6 hits. All their runs coming on a home run. 2 2-run home runs in the 4th inning.
Dyer's been looking like he's itching to go over there at first base. He bluffed a couple of pitches ago like he was going.
Not running here, and Cabrera fouls it off. That hit him somewhere on his leg as the ball was inside. He got a piece of it. This is the first of 3 here at Tropicana Field. The Blue Jays will play 10 games on this road trip. They'll play here in St. Petersburg for 3, then go to Boston to play the Red Sox for 3, and then finish up in Cleveland. A 4-game series against the Indians. Quite a cat and mouse game going on here between Dickey and Geyer.
You know, he can steal. He's 2 for 2 this year in stolen bases. He just looks like he's trying to time up Dickey. And I gotta figure if the count goes to 3-2, they're going to start that rubber.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't taken off earlier in this at bat. You see, Kevin Cash just told him to stay. He talked to Rocco Baldelli. He didn't want him to run here now, figuring that Cabrera 0 for 18 against the Blue Jays might strike out.
See, I'd look at that differently. Okay, he's 0 for 18. You know what? He's due. He's due for a base hit.
And if he does strike out and he steals second base, he's in scoring position for Evan Longoria.
Yeah, Longoria and then Loney. The Blue Jays are going to have a decision. Who do we want to face? Who do we want to pitch to with first base open?
Another 2-2 pitch from Dickey. There's a ball driven to left center. This is trouble. This is going to drop. Splits the outfield as Geyer's going to score. He's around third. Asdrubal Cabrera is headed for third. There'll be no throw. And Geyer scores all the way from first on the triple by Asdrubal Cabrera. His first hit against the Blue Jays this season.
Well, he was due. Good piece of hitting right there. He has had a number of big hits against the Blue Jays. When he was a member of the Cleveland Indians, that time he stays behind it. The ball doesn't knuckle as much, and it's going to slice away from Pompey. No chance for Steve Tollefson to run that one down. Extra bases. A triple. Now the infield has to come in.
And they have to deal with the old nemesis, Evan Longoria, who has hit well against the Blue Jays for his career. A .291 average with 19 homers and 84 RBI. This is his 119th game against the Jays. They got to see a lot of him.
And they have really pitched around Longoria over the last couple of years because of those great numbers that he has had against them. He hasn't seen a lot to hit.
Well, there was a time when he had more support in the lineup, when B.J. Upton was here and swinging the bat well, and Carlos Pena, a left-handed bat, was here, hit the ball out of the ballpark. But since then, there's not been a lot of protection. You talked to Longoria in Toronto about his approach with runners in scoring position. It's a pretty simple mindset.
Yeah, just, the pressure is on the pitcher. Make him come to you and just try and hit the ball hard somewhere. Go back through the middle.
He hits this one to the middle, deep to center. That's going to score the runner from third. Cabrera tags, and he comes in to score. Longoria with the sacrifice fly. It's now 6-2 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he also talked to Albert Pujols, and Pujols says the reason I'm a good hitter and a run producer is I hit to the scoreboard. And the scoreboard said it's 5-2, nobody out runner on third base, and I'm just going to stay in the middle of the field. James Loney didn't stay in the middle of the field. He drove that ball down the right field line for the home run. But it's very interesting. Run producers are going to take their at-bats depending on where they are in the game and just what the scoreboard says.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that he's had so much success in those situations. He's confident. Loney hits this one off the end of the bat. This is trouble. Long run for Reyes. He's not going to get there. Tonneson, the left fielder, will play it back into the infield, but Loney has a 2-hit night in his return to the lineup. A home run in the fourth, now a bloop double.
He can hit. No chance for either the left fielder or the shortstop to run that one down. They're playing him to pull just a little bit off the end of the bat. Extra bases for Loney. He's made a contribution in his first game back off the disabled list.
Still just one out. Desmond Jennings cuts on the first pitch. Base hit up the middle. Loney had to make sure that ball was through. Ball goes off the glove of Encarnacion, the cutoff man, but Jennings holds it first. Pete Walker on the phone, bullpen for the Blue Jays, going to go to work. 9 hits now for Tampa Bay.
The last 2 innings, they're starting to tee off on that knuckleball. That's Jeff Francis who grabs a glove, and now a baseball, and he's going to start to get loose. 4 runs last inning on 4 hits. And they've had a single, double, and triple in this inning as this ball is back through the middle and through into center field.
Loney at third, Jennings at first. Logan Forsythe had a single off the pitcher's glove his last time up. He's 1 for 2. This is where Jennings can run in this situation. Not running here, and Forsythe ducks out of the way of that inside pitch.
That puts a lot of pressure on Josh Tolley, the catcher, to try and throw out Jennings, and I'm surprised he hasn't, in the first 2 pitches here, tried to steal second base. He's not looking like he's trying to steal either.
No, he's not. He doesn't have a very aggressive lead for sure.
He's just bent over at the waist. A lot of times you see those runners, they're in their blocks, and they're bent down. They got the legs bent, and they're ready to go. He's just bent over at the waist. Not a very big lead, as you can see.
Ground ball. Valencia bobbles. It goes to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Forsythe legs it out, picks up an RBI as Loney came in to score.
You know, as a hitter, when you've got a runner at third base and less than 2 outs, a runner on first, and you hit a ground ball, you're thinking RBI. You're sprinting down that line to try and get yourself an RBI right here. And that little shuffle right there by Valencia bobbled it just momentarily, gave Forsythe the chance to beat it out.
That threw off the timing of the double play. That bobble. Travis, the second baseman, saw it and then rushed his throw, and it was a little bit off target. Jennings is out on the fielder's choice. And now John Gibbons has made the call for the left-hander. Jeff Francis, he got loose in a hurry. Tampa Bay jumped on Dickey here in the fifth, and they have knocked him out of the ball game. They have a 7-2 lead. Jeff Francis will make his second appearance for the Blue Jays.
Your attention, please. Now entering the game with his total bullpen, Toronto.
When you spend $200 or more at Jay's Shop at Eaton Center Level 1, you'll receive a free Dooney and Burke cosmetic bag. Available while supplies last.
Thank you, Barry. We are back here with Francis into the game. Jeff Francis making his second appearance since joining the Blue Jays from AAA Buffalo. He threw well in his first outing, 3 1/3.
Really came in and stabilized that game that he pitched in. He and Marco Estrada, they both came in a game against Baltimore. Or check that, Atlanta, 3 1/3, 2 hits, had 3 strikeouts.
Kiermaier struggling lately. He has won for his last 13 over 5 games. Gibbons brought the left-hander in, see if he can't finish the inning right here. Get out of this inning. Kiermaier behind, now even at 2-2. R.A. Dickey goes 4 2/3. Gives up 9 hits. Runner at first base is his responsibility. Popped in the air behind home and over the screen, out of play. Ball is driven into center field. Pompey, the center fielder, over, and it's off the glove of Donaldson. That's going to clear the bases. Kiermaier is going to score easily. Forsythe scores, and Kiermaier is right behind him. Miscommunication in the outfield. Pompey, the center fielder, had a beat on it. Kiermaier, left-handed bat. The ball was slicing away from Pompey, the center fielder. Steve Tolleson starting for the second time in left field. They collide and the ball drops.
You know, you just figure something like this was going to happen when you have basically an infielder playing in the outfield. After the injury to Bautista, some miscommunications. Somebody didn't hear something. The ball, you're right, the ball was slicing away from Pompey right to Tolleson. And with that type of speed, he's going to score easily.
Rene Rivera pops out to end the inning, but a big inning for Tampa Bay. They scored 4 in the 4th and 5 in the 5th. They've taken a 9-2 lead. Devin Travis will lead things off when we come back.
/baseball and get an extended 60-day free trial. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. And R.A. Dickey, a tough outing. He goes 4 2/3. He gives up 8 runs, 7 earned runs, and a couple of rough innings. Tampa Bay scored 4 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. And now the Blue Jays got to play catch up. They're down by 6. Down by 7. It's 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2. One scoreboard says 8-2 here, and one says 9-2. And I had to go back to my scoreboard, and I'm like, okay, they scored 5 that inning.
Yeah.
That's wrong. It's 9-2.
Devin Travis, he got the first hit for the Blue Jays with 1 out in the 4th, and it was a home run, his 5th home run of the season. He leads all rookies in that category. He is just 3 home runs shy of the Minnesota Twins and Milwaukee Brewers. The Twins have hit 8 this season. The Brewers have hit 8, and Devin Travis has 5.
That was my trivia question today to you.
I remembered that.
Who has the fewest home runs in each league? And you're right, Travis has almost caught both of them.
Here he swings and strikes out on an off-speed pitch. Jose Dominguez first out here in the 6th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Number 20, Josh Donaldson.
For Hanley Ramirez, that's his 6th. It's the 4th for David Ortiz. And they jumped on Miguel Gonzalez, Rick Porcello on the mound for the Red Sox. This entire division is topsy-turvy. There's no front runner. Everybody's jammed up, and I believe it's going to be that type of season.
I think all season long it's going to be like that. So what you have to do is just come to the ballpark, try and win this day. Don't look too far in the future. Don't look at the next series, that kind of stuff. Just concentrate on trying to win that day's game.
At the start of play tonight, 3 teams in the East were 9-7. Boston, New York, and Toronto. Tampa Bay 8-8. Baltimore 7-9. You can throw a blanket over all 5 of them.
Baltimore's in last place. They're 2 games out.
Josh Donaldson singled and scored in the 4th. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jose Dominguez. He's retired all 3 batters since coming into the game.
Dominguez has been around. He's got a good arm. Good fastball, good slider, and they liked him in that bullpen. We saw him, like you said, in Tampa or Toronto when we played Tampa when he came up, and he has stuck around.
Two outs now for Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin had a single to center field. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. Blue Jays only have 4 hits. It sound familiar? It's the way it was when the Rays were at Rogers Center.
5 runs in the 3 losses to the Rays back at Rogers Center. They ran into some good pitching. That's what they do. They've been known to do that.
Overall, for the 4 games, the Blue Jays outscored the Rays 17-16, but that's because they won their game 12-5. They scored 12 runs in the only game they won. Encarnacion takes one up and in. He'll take a 4-pitch walk. Comes with 2 outs.
Number 23, Danny Valencia.
Danny Valencia, the 3rd baseman tonight, had an RBI single in the 4th. Valencia has really worked hard on batting against right-handers. He didn't want that label of a guy that can only play against lefties, and he's got a pretty good stroke.
Yes.
Got a lot of power.
He can hit the ball to right field, and that's one way to attack some of those right-handers. Take that breaking ball away from you.
Ball up the middle. They'll go to the bag as Forsythe steps on the bag to force the runner at second. Blue Jays are done in the 6th. They strand a runner. They trail 9-2.
everything you need for the Stanley Cup playoffs and Toronto Blue Jays. Shop tsc.ca.
Well, they're dancing here at Tropicana Field, especially if they were at a Rays jersey, because the Rays have a 9-2 lead. Ryan Goins comes into the ballgame, takes over at shortstop. He replaces Jose Reyes. Reyes finishes up the night 0 for 3. This is Tim Beckham, as he is batting against Jeff Francis in the DH spot. He's batting for David DeJesus. Beckham has had quite a run as the pinch hitter for this team. Beckham is 3 for 7 as a pinch hitter.
Wasn't Beckham the pinch hitter in Toronto also when he was robbed of that base hit or the home run?
Kevin Pillar. He made a bid for another home run. Kevin Pillar went up and made that highlight reel catch to rob Beckham of a home run.
And here it is right here. Todd Redmond's first pitch, and he turns on it. Kevin says, not so fast. Tim Beckham with one of the best catches that we have ever seen. This is a good move, I think, right here by Kevin Cash. He's got a good lead. It's late in the ball game. It's a chance to get somebody in at bat right here. You got a lefty on the mound. Let's bring in Beckham and let's see what he can do against the left-hander.
Beckham has 2 pinch hit home runs. He also has a pinch hit triple. And he had a pinch hit triple and a pinch hit home run in back-to-back pinch hitting at bats against the Marlins down in Miami earlier in the season. Drives this ball to left. He'll have another pinch hit, base hit. He's now 4 for 8 coming off the bench, swinging the bat.
Keep the guy regular. Keep him out there. Keep his timing. In a 9-2 game, Kevin Cash finds a way to get an at bat for Beckham, and he rewards it with a hit.
So Beckham's aboard. That's the 10th hit for Tampa Bay. Brandon Geyer, the left fielder. He's been on base twice. Geyer had a double in the first, got hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's also grounded out.
They have good at bats, the Tampa Bay Rays. They have good at bats all night long. Working the count, putting good swings.
Inside.
10 hits now for the Rays. Really not known as an offensive club.
They've hit 2 home runs, both 2-run homers. They came in the same inning back in the 4th. There's a strike. It's now 3-1. Ball 4.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
First and second, nobody out.
Number 13, Asdrubal Cabrera.
Fans having a good time as the Rays are closing out their homestand. They will finish up this weekend's series and head to New York, take on the Yankees.
Playing their first game outdoors.
How about that? Every game they've played so far this season has been indoors. Of course, they have the roof here at Tropicana Field. They played the Marlins over in Miami. They've got a roof. Came to Rogers Center back here. They won't know how to act playing outdoor baseball.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Asdrubal Cabrera had the triple his last time up. This is trouble. Pompey over in the alley makes a running catch, and the Bears hit the ball hard his last 2 times up.
Well, that time, Dalton Pompey's getting better jumps on the ball. He's been working with Tim Leeper in the outfield and just basically moving as the pitch is being delivered. So he's got a little movement in his body to help him get better jumps on the ball.
What's different about a fly ball in the major leagues compared to a fly ball in the minor leagues?
For the most part, we were talking about that today. It's hit hard up here, consistently hard. So you have got to be able to get a jump on the baseball here. Big boys, they drive them into the gaps here and over your head. You might have 1 or 2 guys on a minor league team, right?
Not many.
Not many. Not like this.
They'd be in the big leagues.
I'll tell you, I've been out there. That ball gets to you quickly.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 1-1 to Evan Longoria. Jeff Francis came into the game in the 5th with 2 outs. Tried to find that outside corner again with the curveball.
He's looking for that ground ball right here. Longoria, another RBI situation here.
Just off the outside edge. Blue Jays trying to build some momentum after sweeping the Orioles. And 2 bad innings, 4th and 5th here against Tampa Bay. Longoria with a home run cut. Stayed back on that off-speed pitch. Looked like he may have been looking for it.
That's how you hit 3-1 with runners on base. Aggressive. At the plate, he looks so relaxed. And his hands are so quick. Got a great setup. Strides into the ball. Tough to get him out.
Hot shot. Valencia to second. Travis with the turn in the dirt, and Encarnacion can't handle it. Once again, another hard slide at second as Geyer was all over him. Travis's throw was in the dirt. It was a tailor-made double play ball. Hard slide by Geyer.
Yeah, he got into Devin Travis at second base, and that's what forced the ball into the dirt. Good feed by Valencia. And there's the throw. And Edwin just cannot hang on to that ball.
It's the 7th start for Encarnacion over at first. Ball in the dirt, trying to make the scoop and just couldn't come up with it. So Beckham now at third base, Longoria at first base. Loney's had a 2-hit night. He's homered and doubled.
I mean, it extends the inning for a guy who's swinging a hot bat right now in Loney. You mentioned the home run and the double. Blue Jays should be hitting right now.
That double play will get him out of the inning, and Loney gets a chance with 2 outs. Pulls this one foul. 0-2. This is what Loney does very effectively. Even when he's behind in the count, he will spoil pitches. He'll make a pitcher throw 8, 9, 10 pitches during an at-bat.
What do they call that? Grinding out at bats like that. And you know who it really benefits? The guy on deck. The guy on deck, after these long at-bats and these tough pitches that are fouled off by Loney, the pitcher has to regroup. And the guy coming up behind him, he might get one right down the middle first pitch.
The guy behind him in this case is Desmond Jennings. But that's a great point. You have a pitcher out there and he's frustrated because he can't retire the batter Loney. He threw several good pitches, and no matter what the resolution, this time Francis took a little bit more off that breaking ball and strikes out Loney. Couldn't put a bat on the ball there. Jeff Francis puts up a 0, but the Jays have a lot of work to do.
They will face a couple of top American League East opponents, with the Yankees into Rogers Center May 4th to 6th and the Red Sox May 8th to 10th. Also coming up in the month of May, a couple of former Blue Jays as the White Sox visit with Melky Cabrera and Jay Happ and the Mariners. And then the LA Angels of Anaheim May 18th to 21st. And Buck and Tabby, we will not see Josh Hamilton again, likely in an Angels uniform. Word is he will be traded to the Texas Rangers, back to where he started, well, at least had played some of his best years.
That's really interesting, and there was reports out that the Hamilton resolution would take place within days, and it sounds like he might be headed back to the Rangers.
MVP seasons when he is with the Texas Rangers.
New pitcher into the game is a right-hander, Matt Andriese. We saw him start game 2 up in Rogers Center. He's got a good arm, and he was listed as a possible starter for tomorrow's game. They have not announced their starter for that game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Erasmo Ramirez or Matt Andriese, depending on which one of them comes out of the bullpen tonight. Well, I think they just gave us the answer. Andriese 3 2/3 against the Blue Jays in Toronto.
This is popped up behind home plate. Rivera casts his mask aside, makes the catch. Pilar's retired. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Steve Tollison goes after the first pitch. Longoria takes the short hop. 2 quick outs here in the 7th.
We've seen that from Longoria in the past, haven't we? He's so smooth over there at third base.
Boy, he's got a very good clock, an inner body clock that is just ticking very, very slowly, both at the plate and in the field.
And it slows the game down. He had to make a quick decision there. Do I take the big hop, lay back, or do I charge it and get the short hop? And he was flawless.
It's really interesting in watching Longoria over the years and watch him play. I've seen him play in postseason games, World Series games. When you see him on the field, the drummer in him doesn't seem to fit.
No, it doesn't, does it?
You hear him banging that drum down in the clubhouse before the start of the game, and then you talk to him, and he's very laid back and very calm.
Very under control.
Yeah. Dalton Pompey 0 for 2 so far in this game. And he strikes out. 3 up, 3 down. That Andres comes in and has a quick inning of work. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. It's all Tampa Bay. This game 1 of a 3-game series. Has calmed things down a bit here in the middle innings. Francis came into the game with 2 outs in the 5th. He gave up a long fly ball into center that Tollefson made an error on. Justin Smoke into the game at first base, taking over for Edwin Encarnacion. Both Reyes and Encarnacion, the starters, out of the game now.
Get them off their feet. Off of this turf.
Desmond Jennings. 2 balls and a strike to the Rays center field. Chases that pitch away. Jeff Francis, as Jamie Campbell mentioned, from Victoria, BC, now makes his home in London, Ontario. Jeff is 34 years old. Pitched last season with Cincinnati, Oakland, and New York, all in the big leagues.
We had a chance to talk to him when he was with Oakland, right? Last year?
Yeah.
Didn't they just release him? And you're like, well, this would be a good fit for the Blue Jays.
He pitched in 9 games for Oakland. That ball's trouble. That's down into the right field corner. That's a fair ball. Then Blue Jays caught a break. It bounced over the wall for a ground rule double. Jennings had 3 on his mind for sure.
Easily. Piece of hitting by Jennings, but that's what he does. You were talking about extra base hits. There's this first one right there. Watch him stay back on that breaking ball. Let it travel, and then hit that ball hard to right field. It's slicing, but it's going to be fair, and then out of play.
That is his first extra base hit of the season. That's hard to fathom. He came into the game without an extra base hit in 56 at bats. He went 1 for 3 with a single in his first 3 at bats. So that's 59 at bats without an extra base hit. Only other player in a major with that many at bats without an extra base hit, and this is really hard to believe. Brandon Phillips, Cincinnati Reds. Brandon Phillips, he didn't have an extra base hit.
That is hard to believe. In the ballpark that he plays in, Cincinnati, you would think that he would find some kind of double somewhere. A blooper to right, bullet to left, something like that.
He's hit cleanup in the past for Cincinnati.
Finishing up that thought, Buck, about Jeff Francis, who we were talking last year, be a good fit. Be a good fit because he's a veteran. He's doing exactly what we thought he would be able to do, come in and calm things down, use all of his pitches. And as a long man and a left-handed long man out of the bullpen, that's a valuable piece. He's not going to get rattled in these types of situations. He's just going to pitch, hopefully throw up some zeros. And if you need a starter, maybe you can throw him out there later in the season.
Jeff's best season came in 2007 with the Colorado Rockies. He won a career-high 17 games. Made 34 starts and pitched 215 innings. Good changeup, Forsythe strikes out. Second strikeout for Francis.
Take a little something off. Just the second strikeout of the night for Blue Jay pitching. Next pitch during that time.
Kevin Kiermaier hit that ball to center field with 2 outs his last time up in the 5th. This is a base hit to right. Jennings is going to come around third. Here's the throw to the plate. It's offline, and Tola goes up the line to make the catch. Jennings scores. Kiermaier picks up the RBI. Tampa Bay came to Rogers Center, and they were rude to the hometown Blue Jays. They went 3-4. And you see their head-to-head matchups over the last 5 seasons. Tampa Bay has had the edge. Last year, Blue Jays won the season series 11-8, but that's the exception over the course of the last 5 years.
Yeah, 2010 they lost the series 11, 12, 13, 14, but won it last year. They also broke a streak. I don't even know if you want to call it a streak. It was a house of horrors playing down here. It was just awful trying to win series here in Tampa.
It's always been a tough place to play. I think it's a distinct home field advantage for Tampa Bay. There's just not a whole lot of atmosphere in this ballpark. Small crowds all the time. You got to really stay focused if you're a visiting player coming into this ballpark.
And they're a good team. They pitch it. They play good defense. It's a crazy indoor stadium, kind of like the 80s. Remember the Metrodome? You get a feel with that big top like that. You're right. It's a distinct home field advantage for the Rays.
Breaking ball as Rivera covers that outside pitch. But the difference between the Metrodome was it was jam-packed, and you could hardly hear yourself think in that place. There was a lot of atmosphere in that place.
Yeah, a lot of atmosphere. That's the only difference.
Of course, baseball is trying to figure out what to do in this area with the Rays. They've had a great run as a franchise the last several years, but they just can't draw anybody to this ballpark. It's in a difficult location as far as Tampa Bay is situated.
It's not in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Just foul outside of third. St. Petersburg is in the southwestern edge of Tampa Bay. Tampa itself, the city proper, probably about 23 miles from St. Petersburg. But they've never had a real solid attendance season here at Tropicana Field. Rivera strikes out. 2 down in the inning.
Fastball. Right down Broadway. Pick up his 3rd strikeout of the night. Tampa Bay came into this game, we were talking about they're not a team that really lights it up offensively, but 10th in the American League in batting average and 10th in runs scored. It's the Blue Jays tonight. 12 hits and 10 runs. They've looked like a different team offensively.
Well, we have talked to their coaching staff both in Toronto and here in this series, and they say they have good at bats. There might not be a load of offensive talent, but the guys grind out at bats. They put the bat on the ball. They do what they can do, and the unit is certainly much better than the individuals.
Yeah, it might not be, the 27 Yankees or some of those other powerhouse. They fit well together. They really do. From 1 to 9, they really fit well. And I think Kevin Cash does a good job of putting his lineup together and then making it work.
Beckham chases that pitch down and in. Francis is ahead 1-2. Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Rays broke it wide open in the 4th. Blue Jays jumped out to a 2-0 lead top half of the 4th. The Rays responded with 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th and 5 more in the bottom of the 5th. They blew it wide open. Beckham lifts it deep to left field. Tolleson back. This ball is gone. Tim Beckham came off the bench, base hit in the 6th, and now he's hit a home run. His 3rd home run of the season.
He wants a little bit more playing time. Looked like another breaking ball from Jeff Francis. He just got an ugly swing from Beckham on a breaking ball down and in, and now this time it's going to come right back to the middle of the plate, and Beckham lays back on this one, recognizes the off-speed pitch, and finishes it off with his 3rd home run.
Beckham hit a pinch hit home run off of Aaron Loop on a breaking ball down and in. That was at Rogers Center earlier in the month. Brandon Geyer, the left fielder. Geyer's been on base 3 times in 4 plate appearances. He doubled in his first at bat, grounded out in the 3rd, got hit by a pitch in the 5th, and walked in the 6th. Tampa Bay has scored 12 runs on 13 hits. Blue Jays have just 4 hits and 2 runs. Geyer strikes out. That ends the inning. Francis would eventually strike out the side, but Tampa Bay putting it on the Blue Jays. provided us with a prediction of who they thought the Blue Jays player of the game would be. Video game version picked Kevin Pillar tonight.
And I think Kevin wished it was the video game version. 2 for 2 in the show with a home run, couple of RBIs, and a run scored tonight. Actually, Kevin is 0 for 3, a couple of fly balls and a pop out for his play tonight.
The simulation is powered by MLB 15, the show. Baseball is better, only on PlayStation. We are in the 8th. This is Josh Tolley, the catcher, batting for the 3rd time. Matt Andres came into the game in the 7th, retired to side in order. Tolley drives it to left center. Desmond Jennings on the run, runs it down right on the edge of the warning track.
Well, Tampa Bay has been blessed with some good center fielders over the years.
The shortstop, Ryan Goins.
You think back to Rocco Baldelli when he first came up. He was a rangy center fielder. Then they had B.J. Upton during their World Series run, 2008. Desmond Jennings now has spent some time there last couple of years. And then you have Kevin Kiermaier, who's in right. He can really go get him.
That's some defense right there. There's Rocco.
He is now the first base coach. Unfortunately, his career cut short by injuries. Ryan Goins getting his first at bat. He took over defensively for Jose Reyes at shortstop. Ryan fouls it back. It's 1-2. Goins began his season in AAA Buffalo. On Tuesday, Ryan had a 3 RBI game. He had a 2-run single and an RBI single.
Talked to him today about his play in the outfield. He never played the outfield before and says, you know what, I felt pretty comfortable out there. Played a couple of innings in spring training, but that's different than right here in the major leagues during the regular season.
Well, the Blue Jays, unfortunately, because of Bautista's injury to his shoulder, have had to start infielders in left field the last 3 games, and tonight it caught up to him.
Yeah, just a little bit. Ryan played a few nights ago, Danny Valencia last night, and now Steve Tollison tonight. Well, that's what happens when you carry just 3 outfielders on your roster.
Well, and of course, Michael Saunders is probably headed to this ball club tomorrow. There's a high pop into center field. Jennings is there. Coleman's is retired, 2 down. Well, the Braves got a pitcher off the disabled list tonight. Drew Smyly made his first start of the season. He made a very good impression. First time out, 79 pitches, and he really got off to a great start.
Yeah, retired the first 10 batters that he faced tonight. 5 of them from strikeouts. Ground ball and a couple of fly balls. He looked really good. Ran into some trouble in that 4th inning. And then had one more out to go in the 5th, or he would have been eligible for the win tonight. Hit his pitch limit. They took him out of the ball game, but he's going to be fine. And that's a shot in the arm for this Tampa Bay Ray team.
Well, they have Matt Moore and Alex Cobb, 2 other starters, still on a disabled list. But the cavalry is headed back toward St. Petersburg, that's for sure. Devin Travis extended his hit streak to 10 straight. He homered in the 4th. That was the first hit given up by Drew Smyly. Travis now hitting .382. Takes it for a strike. Matt Andrews started against the Blue Jays, as we mentioned, at Rogers Center. Here's another high fly ball. Kevin Kiermaier at the edge of the warning track. Another good inning for Andrews. He has retired all 6 he's faced. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, and Android. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And guys, well, this one is a blowout. A great game going on at Camden Yards with the Orioles and the Red Sox all locked up at 4.
They are indeed tied at 4 as they're playing in the bottom of the 7th. The Orioles have scored a run in the bottom of the 7th. Asdrubal Cabrera flies out to Kevin Pillar. That's the way the bottom of the 8th starts here in Tampa Bay.
Third baseman, number 30.
Jeff Francis came into the ball game in the 5th.
He's got to finish it out. You know, he's thrown 60 pitches now in 2 2/3, but first day of a long road trip, you don't want to be burning out your bullpen. So he's got to finish this one out for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays got into St. Petersburg last night about 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's been a short turnaround.
Well, I also think they weren't expecting Miguel Castro to get into the game yesterday. They had the big lead at 7-2 heading into the 9th inning, and they had to eventually use their closer. So that backed everybody up also.
Yeah, Liam Hendricks had some trouble as he came into that ball game. He gave up a single. Then after a strikeout, back-to-back singles, and that's when a save opportunity presented itself, and Gibbons went to Castro, who picked up the save, his 4th of the season. Evan Longoria with a 2-2 count. Francis backs off that breaking ball and strikes him out. Now it's time for the drive of the game. It's presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
James Loney just came off the disabled list and does this. This is his first hit, first home run, first RBIs of the season down the right field line. And tied the ball game up at 2. The drive of the game tonight by James Loney. That was back in the 4th inning.
So Loney did exactly what the Rays hoped for. He provided protection for Longoria. After Longoria doubled in the 4th, he hit a 2-run home run. Loney had a bloop double in the 5th and scored a run. Good first game back for James Loney.
Yeah, welcome back, James. He's a good player. They signed him up when he was eligible to be a free agent.
Loney strikes out. Francis with a good effort. 3 1/3 in long relief tonight. We go to the ninth.
Tomorrow night, and hoping Jose Bautista is back in the lineup. It's a 5:30 pregame show with Blue Jays Central first pitch just after 6 o'clock. Also, a good opportunity that we will see Michael Saunders make his return to the Blue Jays as well. Blue Jays and Rays tomorrow night on Sportsnet 1.
The Rays have not made their starting pitcher announcement yet, and it was a possibility it was going to be Matt Andres who's into this game. For the Blue Jays, it'll be the left-hander Daniel Norris. Josh Donaldson, 1 for 3. A couple of strikeouts. Donaldson had a terrific homestand. Really got things going offensively. Felt like he was swinging the bat well. His timing was just a little bit off, but boy, everything started to click for him on this most recent homestand.
He wasn't missing his pitch. When he was getting it, he wasn't missing it. Tonight he's been able to scratch out a base hit. Surrounded by a couple of strikeouts.
Nice play by Andres as he snares that hot shot. So now it's time for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ivanka Osback and Brendan Dunlop.
First baseman Justin Smoke.
Thank you very much, Brendan, and that'll take place right after this ball game, so make sure you stay tuned and check it out. Andres trying to complete 3 innings here. He is retired all 7 he's faced. This is Justin Smoke batting for the first time. Smoke took over defensively at first for Edwin Encarnacion.
I've got a question for you. You've been around the game a long time, right? Who gets the win tonight? If you are the official scorer, assuming it stays like this, 12-2.
That's interesting because the starter didn't qualify. This ball's got a chance to get out of here. And it does. Justin Smoke, an opposite field home run. Smoke's got big time power. We talked about his ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark anywhere, and he goes opposite field for his second home run of the season, and that gets the Blue Jay fans a little bit excited here.
And it gets the ball back down on the field as the fan throws it back. You're right, Justin Smoke's got some power. He showed that off against Ubaldo Jimenez the other day in Toronto, taking the starter for the Orioles the other way for a home run, and now he gets it all on this drive to left field.
For Smoke, his second, as we mentioned, that gives him 5 RBIs for the season. Danny Valencia drives it down the right side. That's going to get down and bang up against the wall. Valencia is headed for second, and he will get there with a slide. Danny Valencia, a 2-hit night. He stayed on that pitch away and drove it one hop off the wall in right.
That's 3 straight line drives by the Blue Jays to start the 9th inning. Valencia, a multi-hit night here in Tampa. Stay behind that one. That ball's driven right field. Extra bases. Blue Jays now have 6 hits.
Kevin Pillar has gone 0 for 3, a couple of flyouts and a pop-out. To answer your question about who's the winning pitcher for the Rays, I think it'll be Jose Dominguez. He came in an important part of the ball game in the 5th inning and got out of it. Got Reyes to end the inning
on one pitch. That ball's on the ground and over to first base, and then through another inning. And if Smiley could have gotten one more out, he would have qualified.
Yeah.
So they have to pick somebody. And Andres, if he gets another out, gets a save, right?
3 inning.
3 inning save. So normally, don't official scores, if it's up to them to decide who pitches better or who pitches longer.
Right. They generally think about who's the most effective. And you got to think about the context of the game. When Dominguez came into the ball game with 2 outs in the 5th, it was a 4-2 game.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to close out that inning and then pitch a good inning in the next inning. It'll be interesting, but I think it'll be Dominguez.
Andres has looked good. There's talk of him maybe starting tomorrow's game, but this is his throw day. They thought about pushing him back and getting a start. Kevin Cash said it all depends on how tonight's game goes. Well, he's going to throw 3 innings, so he'll be down tomorrow.
There's a fly ball to center field that should do it. Jennings makes the catch, and the Rays will win it. The Blue Jays had the lead. They led 2-0 at one point, but after that, the bats came alive for Tampa Bay, led by James Loney, a big 2-run home run in the 4th. And then another 2-run home run by the catcher, Rene Rivera, who had a big hit in last night's game.
Yes, it was a brief lead by the Blue Jays, 2-0 in the 4th inning. And then the big bats came through for Tampa Bay, the home run stick, James Loney. And then Rene Rivera got his first home run as a Tampa Bay Ray. Drew Smiley looked good. Andres finished it off.
Well, stay tuned. After this, coming up next is Sportsnet Central with Ivanka Osmak and Brendan Dunlop. And a lot more hockey going on now. Senators and Canadians. Montreal leads the series 3-1. 2-2, the other hockey. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Here's Ivanka Osmak and Brendan Dunlop.